You will either be on the right side of the wealth divide or the wrong side. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. That's a quote from Lenin. And right now, it feels like we're living through one of those times. The decisions we make, or we don't make, in the next few years will carry on through to the next generations. Australia is at a crossroads. This isn't just about inflation or house prices. It's about two diverging roads, generational wealth or generational poverty. Let's talk about the old system, the one most of us grew up believing in. Get a good job, have a family, buy a house, pay it off, maybe buy another property or two, or save some money, retire comfortably in your 50s or 60s, and then basically do what you want. Imagine that. And for a while, it worked really well. Until around the year 2020, our income grew enough to keep up with the cost of living. That kept everyone happy. In the background, however, something more sinister was at play. Something that meant the old rules don't work anymore. Here's the thing, most people are still trying to play by those rules, even though the game has changed completely. They're meant to be paying off their mortgages as quickly as possible. At the same time, however, they're trying to borrow more for investment properties that are losing money. Added to this, they're relying on a system for a modest retirement, even though they know that's not going to be enough either. If this is you, maybe you're playing a 2025 game by 1995 rules. The rules changed and most of us weren't told. The game doesn't work the same for a very simple reason. House prices, they've outgrown wages growth to a point where maintaining a mortgage has become a serious challenge. House prices have risen at around 8% as a long-term average, whilst incomes over the last 20 odd years have only seen around 3%. If you're feeling like the harder you work, the less you're getting ahead, you're not imagining it. The struggle is real. The uncomfortable truth is right now we're standing at a crossroads. One road leads to ownership, assets and security. The other leads to stagnation, frustration, and a dependence on a system in decline. If you're not actively building wealth, you're losing it. The average first home buyer now is 37 years old and it's rising every year. The cost of standing still is that we run the risk of falling behind, and good luck to the next generation. Every year that goes by, your money buys less. Your mortgage costs more and your savings, if sitting idle, are quietly going backwards. Take an example here, a $750,000 mortgage at 2.5% in 2021 was about $2,965 a month. Today, at around 6%, it's about $4,500 per month. That's about $18,000 extra per year for the same house. The result is that people aren't upgrading, they're not investing, they're not even living a better standard of living than what they were 15 years ago. But here's the truth, the system now rewards movement and not caution. Waiting used to be safe, but now it also has risk. We are possibly the last generation that gets a choice. Our parents had options, our kids won't, not unless we create them. So what does the new game look like? It's about understanding the system and using it, not fighting about it or complaining about it. It rewards action, not just effort. This is about clear-headed, deliberate planning, putting together at least a 5 or 10 year game plan and delivering, taking control of your own financial direction instead of leaving it to the system. It punishes inaction. Not doing anything means more of the same. Assets growing faster than wages, the cost of living becoming harder, the growing probability that your kids will be left with whatever the system gives them. If you don't pass down a financial foundation, they'll inherit a future of renting, debt, and diminished opportunity. It values assets over debt. In the old game, people used to borrow aggressively to buy their way to wealth, but today, too much debt without a strategy will crush you. The focus now is on building or owning assets that grow and produce income, not just stacking up liabilities. So, where do you start? Firstly, reassess your financial reality. The first mistake people make when trying to fix their financial situation. Start with cash flow and ask the question, how can I increase my income over the next 5 to 10 years? And that growing cash flow gives you the power to pay down debt faster, to strengthen your equity position, and to create long-term generational wealth for you and your family. The second part to this is you're paying down debt or you need to get into your first home. This will depend on where you're at in life. If you already have a home loan and you've taken that out in recent years, it's likely you need to focus on paying down debt. That's what Debt Destroyer is designed for. Simple debt reduction strategies anyone can use to pay off their mortgage 10 to 15 years earlier. Links are in the description to get free access to that. But if you don't yet own a home, then your number one priority is to buy one as soon as possible, because all the data shows house prices are rising much faster than wages. The longer you wait, the further you'll fall behind. So the third part is a bit more bigger picture. It's that generational wealth play. If you're already in a strong position, maybe you've already got a low debt position, now it's about something bigger. Increasingly, people are getting inheritances and just reducing their mortgage. That's not necessarily getting ahead. It might be the case of getting less behind. And for many, this is the reason why they need to create generational wealth. That means structuring your assets so they can be passed down, using your equity to help your kids get ahead, making a plan for wealth creation and legacy. It means having the right team of experts around you to make this happen. There's a reinforcing pattern playing out where the generational wealth gap will grow faster as time goes by. We're seeing more and more people, mostly aged 50 and over, starting to understand this new game. They're buying up the assets, the shares, the investment properties, and that's driving up prices. They've seen the crossroads and they've chosen their path. That, however, creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, because for the younger generation trying to get in, it's only going to get harder. The system is compounding the wealth gap. Our generation right now gets to choose which side of the divide we want to be on, and whether we let the system decide our kids' future or we decide it for them. The game has changed and it leaves working class people at a crossroads. The good news is we still get to choose. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you want to keep on learning how to win at the new game. Cheers.